All right, so today what we're gonna do is we're working with Two Hats Gaming, and we're gonna kind of teach how to draft. So there's a couple of things. Say hi, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Two Hats. I used to play Magic a lot, but it's been a while, so we're trying to get back into it.
Yeah, for sure. And to his chat, I'm Zoli421. I've been playing Magic basically since it came out. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna kind of go over kind of the basics of drafting. I'm gonna show you kind of the method, like the sort of tried and true method of drafting. It was invented basically early on in Magic's history. Then what I want to do also is kind of teach, kind of go over briefly my method of teaching people how to play board games and stuff like that. Because there's a couple things there that I want to mention while we're here, just to make sure that drafting goes smoother. And then I also want to give you a couple resources. So once we are done with the explanation, the next step would be go to do some more research, of course, and I'll give you some names of some great resources. So let us start off with the how to draft. So the very basics of drafting, just for those of you who don't know, is everyone at the table, 8 people are going to sit down. Everyone at the table opens a pack of magic cards. They pick one of those magic cards to keep. They pass the rest of those to the person on their left. And they do that until the pack is all gone. So 14 times. And then you open your second pack and you pick one card and pass it to your right. Do that all the way through. And then one last pack. This one goes back to the left. Then what you do is you're going to build a deck out of those limited amount of cards, which is why we call this format limited. And it's because you have a limited amount of cards to build it. You can't just use your whole collection. And that's that. So let's talk about how to draft. So when you're confronted with a pack, usually what we do is we call it is using the bread method, which is an ancient tool that we've used in Magic for almost all time. But what bread stands for is, first off, is bombs. So very good cards that could win you the game on their own. So if you could go to your decks, and we'll just kind of bring up some examples. So click on decks up there at the top left. Yep. And then click on the plus sign. And then over on the right, you see where it says craft. Yeah, right there. Yeah, click that on. Okay. So what I want you to do is search for, it's called Maskwood Nexus. So you see this card here. So it's a 4-drop artifact that says you can pay 3 to make a 2/2. So this card basically by itself can win you the game, right? It doesn't need any other tools other than, of course, mana, but every card needs that. So this is what we call a bomb, basically, right? It may not be immediately impactful, but it can win you the game on its own later. Another bomb, for example, like that will win you the game really fast, is go ahead and search for dragon. Let's do the filters. Oh, 1 second. I'll just find the dragon. 1 second. Type in gold span dragon.
Gold span?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then press return. Yeah. All right, so this is a 4/4 flying haste that makes mana whenever it attacks or is targeted. So this kind of card is an immediate bomb, right? It comes in, it does 4 damage basically, and if they deal with it, you get something in return. And if they don't deal with it, they die in 4 turns if they're at full life. So these cards are bombs. So these are the kind of cards that we pick first. The second kind of card we pick is removal. So R stands for removal. Now, anything that says destroy target creature, remove a bunch of cards, anything like that. Death touch creatures may not seem like they would be removal, but they basically are. So why don't you type in way down. Sorry. Way is in W-E-I-G-H.
Oh, duh.
Alright, so this card, as an additional cost to cast, target creature, or you sacrifice a creature or exile a creature from your graveyard, target creature gets -3/-3. So this is removal. So the idea here is that you want to prioritize cards that will win you the game, then you prioritize cards that will prevent you from losing the game, right? In these removals, one of the best removal in the set is Feed the Serpent. So we're like in black. Black is typically has. There it is. Yeah. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Black is sort of known for having the best removal. And in this set, it has a couple of very good removal pieces. So we were going to keep our eye out for that. All right, so E. So when we're talking about E, we're talking about efficient cards. So these are the kinds of cards that will slowly give you advantage over time, or maybe when you play them, you get like a small benefit, and then over time you'll get more benefit. So let me give you a couple of examples. The most common one are equipment cards. So search for Ruined Crown. R-U-N-E-D? Yeah. R-U-N without the I.
Oh, the ruined wrong. That's my fault.
Okay. The other Ruined. Alright, so Ruined Crown, right? So when this enters the battlefield, you can get a rune from your graveyard or the deck, right? So that is card advantage. That's efficient. So it's what you play one card, you get more than one card out of it. And then it says equip creature gets +1/+1 for 2 mana. So at this stage in the draft order, it's okay to sort of choose things that are more mana costly, right? This costs a lot of mana. But, every turn, if I have 2 mana left over, I can make one of my creatures stronger, whichever I choose. So these sorts of cards are the ones that are efficient, things that we can use no matter what, right? I'll give you another example here. Type in Funeral Longboat. So this card, it only costs 2. It's a 3/3 creature, but it needs another creature. So the kind of nice thing about this is it's colorless. It can go in any deck. And then one sort of hidden thing that vehicles do is when you play a creature, that creature has summoning sickness, so it can't do anything on its first turn. But it can crew a vehicle. So it sort of gives most of your creatures like a semi-haste kind of field, right? Because you play it, you equip this, and then this can attack. So that means it kind of has haste, and it can do this with any creature. So even weaker creatures like 1/1s or 1/2s or whatever can basically become 3/3s as long as this is around, right? All right. So the next thing we want to look at is what the A stands for. A stands for aggro, and this sort of fills out a lot of our. It's also designed to fill out our mana curve, which basically means like when you look at your deck, how many things in your deck cost 1, how many things cost 2, 3, so forth. So basically what you want to do to have like an even, like a well-maintained deck, a well-spread mana curve, is you want to have like almost nothing cost 1, and then a lot of things cost 2, most things cost 3, and then it's going to taper downwards afterwards, right? Down to like 6, and probably not really playing many 7 drops unless they win you the game almost immediately, because that's too much mana, right? Because it's not a 1-for-1. Like, you can't expect to have 7 mana on turn 7. Like, after the first few turns, it becomes longer and longer. So basically any like 2 drops are going to fit into this category that are good. Of course, some 2 drops are just bad and unplayable, so you want to keep an eye out for that. But things that are like okay, or things like let's use this, like Fearless Liberator. Try that. Type that one in. Yeah, so that one. Yeah, so these cards don't need to be this good. I mean, this is a good card because it makes other dudes sometimes, but sometimes, it's more just about making sure that you have 2 drops so you don't die to your opponent's 2 drops or your other creatures, right? Creatures in draft and limited formats are going to battle much more, right? So you want boots on the ground. That's kind of what this whole thing is about, right? And you want them quickly. So it doesn't just stand for creatures that cost like 4 or 5, right? Because those aren't aggressive. Those are they don't come out till later in the game. These cards need to be out. They need to be in front of you. And the D just stands for the dregs. Basically, at a certain point in the draft, you know, it's pick 6 in the pack. You're like, well, maybe I'll play this. These are going to be kind of cards that aren't very good. You may play, you may not play. It might be your 41st card or your 42nd card. When you build a deck in this format, you basically want to have a total of 40 cards. Some people live in a 41 camp, but basically the reason why you want 40 cards is in draft, your powerful cards are much more potent. So what you want to do is maximize your opportunity in order to draw them. So having less cards mean you're going to draw them more often. Now, there's some math there's a lot of math that's been done on this game, and the difference between 40 and 41 is quite small. But we're basically always going to play 40 cards with either primarily 17 lands, but sometimes 16 if our curve is low. All right, so that's it. So that's all the draft. Any questions about the bread method?
No, man. Sounds pretty straightforward.
All right, very cool. So what I want to just do is briefly just chat about how I teach people how to play games and stuff like that. What you don't want to do typically is just tell people what to pick, right? Like it's not going to be fun and involved when someone's learning is if you just say pick this is the best card, this is the best card, and give a brief explanation on why. What you want to do when people are learning games is you want to reduce their choices, right? So if you play a game and it has too many choices, what people are going to do is what's called analysis paralysis, right? So Two Hats is going to take a look at a pack and there's going to be 15 picks, right? Now, of course, some of them we can cut down, like they're pretty obvious that you're not going to pick them. But what I'm going to try and do is cut down packs to either 2 or 3 picks, and then let Two Hats kind of talk through what he wants to do ultimately. I'm not going to do doing it for him isn't a good way to teach, right? So we want to do that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make those picks, make it so none of them are really that bad. So even at that point, if the worst card is picked out of those 3, it's still fine, right? We can still very serviceable, playable. We can still get through this, that's okay. That's part of learning, and like we'll be able to talk it through. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So as we're loading up the draft, as Two Hats is buying it, the 2 big resources if you want to dig in deep further into drafting, I would recommend is a podcast called Limited Resources. It's by LSV and Marshall Sutcliffe. LSV is one of the best players in the game, basically, period. Probably top 5, top 10 of all time. He is very good at Limited. They talk over all the cards, how to rank them. And then there's another guy who streams quite often. His name is Ben Stark. He is considered basically the best, if not one of the best, if not the best drafter all time.
Sorry, I was also writing those down. Which thing do we do for it?
Oh, we do. So what you're gonna want to do is, I usually go to it on the side here. So click off of that little sidebar tool there, and then you should be able to do. I think it's traditional Kaldheim draft there. That one at the bottom. Click on that. Yeah, let me look at it. Okay, so this is the best 2 out of 3. So we won't do this one because this one's not ranked. So like don't want to do this one because it's not ranked. Yeah, because you won't get the rewards at the end. So you see that like A at the top, like so you see how it says like that one. So click that. Yeah.
I already have advanced modes on. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So usually when I click that, it sort of shows me here what other ones there are. Right. Oh. Yeah. See there. So now there's Premier Draft Kaldheim. That's the one we want to do. So this is a best of 1 format. So we play until we lose 3, and then this is ranked. You can see up there that little rank, that sort of bronze circle. That means that what we're about to do is going to be ranked play.
Cool. So we want to do this one then?
Yeah.
I made sure I grinded out enough so I could have enough gold earlier this week.
Yeah, yeah. Also the thing about this one versus the other one is this one we draft against real people, not robots. So this is definitely preferable. I see you went with the Karn avatar. We were talking about the history of Karn here. All right, cool. So this is our first pack. So we have a few really good cards in this pack. I would say the white rare is good. A 2/3 flying for 3 is a very efficient and aggro card. It's not a bomb, but it is really good and high on the other ones. The blue creature, the Bergstrider, that card is also very good. It's a 4/4 and it has ice in it. The 2 black-blue card is good, but it locks us into colors. So I would say narrow down to those 3 picks, and you can pick whichever one of those. Yeah, those 3 exactly.
I'm really into angels in this game, so I think I'm gonna go with Radiant.
Very fair. Very fair. All right. So this pack has a few good cards. The Drog Helm is a really good efficient equipment. That card is very good. The Augury Raven is also good, and it kind of fits like when white pairs with blue, it has a lot of strong flyers. So we kind of want to evade the opponent's creatures by flying over them. And then the card right to its right is also good, right? It's a blue draw cards, right? It's just it's a long-term investment card, right? It doesn't impact the board, but it does give you advantage over time.
Right. So we're picking between these 3?
Yep. We're sort of, and you don't want to get too bogged down in the color right away. Like, when we make this pick, it's not like we're definitely white-black, we're definitely white-blue, or we're even black-blue, right? Like, we're just picking the best cards in the pack that could have the highest potential for winning.
Right. Personally, I would go with the flyer typically.
Okay. Click it. 4 seconds. Sorry, I'll try and cut my explanations down. All right, this pack is also good. So there's a green card in it. The Struggle for is a removal card. That's good. There's an aggro card for the 2/2 with lifelink. And then the Draugr Helm is also still a great pick. So, like, if you want to think about maybe splashing a different, or like another color, like if you don't think that we're going to go, we might go into black or green. Or if you want to stick with white, which is a safer pick. However, it's not as powerful, we'd go with a Story Seeker.
Right. So pretty much the option is stay white-blue for now, or switch to white-blue and then green.
Yeah, or green or black. Yeah, both the Draugr Helm and the Struggle are very good.
Oh, so this is an equipment though. So this
yeah,
stay.
It is equipment, but it makes a creature when you play it. Like, if you play it for 5, it makes an equipment. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with the Draugr Helm.
Let's do it. Yeah, Coley, for sure. All of the equipment are busted. All right, so we got some okay cards in this pack too. So I would say the Bounded Gold is very strong because it's removal, and the Shield Mate is very strong because it is both an aggro card and an efficient card, right? So it comes down on turn 2, and it's a 2/1, so that means it trades with most other 2-drops, and then leaves a 1/1 behind, which is card advantage in that way. So I would sort of think about those 2 cards. There's also Demon Bolt, which is good, but that's like a 4th color, so we sort of like, or, you know, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to make a rainbow. Let's see, so it's either early game card advantage or something to remove some big play.
Yeah.
Click the early game card advantage.
All right, cool. All right. Let's see here. So I would say we have a couple picks here. So the Raven form is good. It's very good blue removal, and we're sort of leaning blue. The Snow-Covered Plains is good. It's a hedge bet because like some things in our decks might require snow, and this is the kind of time to start thinking about that. But I also want to bring attention to the green card. That's a rare. So it's not super good card, but it is a signal that maybe people aren't in green because we're getting a good green card later in the pack. So I'd say Raven form or snow-covered plains is sort of where we want to live.
See, but that gives them a 1/1 if we have to remove. Yeah, let's go with the snow just in case.
Sure.
Because people always take those later on, right?
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So this is a strong black pick, right? There's three good black cards. There's the Rune of Mortality, the Grim Draugr, and the Priest, and then a snow-covered island. So if we're still like we haven't seen any blue cards in a bit, so we may want to start thinking about black since there's 3 black cards. But also the snow-covered island is still a fine pick in this. So that's like creature, but it's sort of semi-removal.
Right.
The Rune of Mortality is good because it draws a card, so at the worst it can just be 2 mana draw a card.
So it just gives a creature death touch is all it does.
Yeah, and you draw a card. Yep.
So I'm leaning towards this.
Okay.
Oh, I got it anyway. So there you go.
Yeah, you clicked on it. Yeah, if you click on something, it will hover it, and then it will pick that, and then if you double click on it, it will actually pick it. So this pack isn't super great. The Glimpse the Cosmos is okay, but we're getting into basically the okay portion of the draft here, the dregs. So the Glimpse the Cosmos is good, or the Village Rites is like it can be good, depending on how many creatures we get.
Right. So this one's just a draw, right?
Yeah, look at top 3, put one of them in your hand. Yep.
Well, what did it give me?
It just randomly picked that one.
Oh
yep.
God.
It's okay. Just if you're thinking about something, just click on it first. Yeah, all good. All right. So these cards aren't super great. We definitely wouldn't be playing Divine Gambit. That often backfires on us. So I'd say we could put Neferi in as like a hedge in case we go blue-black, or if we want to stick with white, we can play Valor. We can pick Valor, but we're probably not playing either of these cards. So whichever you want.
Gotcha. So it doesn't really matter.
Not a ton, no.
Well, it's got snow too.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking just the snow-covered island. Maybe that black-blue card now, but it's not. It's still not great. There's a lot. You have to do a lot of work for that.
Yeah. I think we're just gonna go with the island. Especially now, because if we want to ever play this, we need 3 island or 3 snow.
Yeah, I mean it's good without having that ability. Like it's still fine. So what do you think? What do you think in this pack is the most likely card we'll play?
I mean, probably the artifact.
Yep.
I don't have any vehicles yet. We're thinking we're probably gonna go one of the blacks or this white, right?
Yep.
I need another creature, I think.
I mean, we're probably not playing any of these cards. So I would say for this one, maybe the mountain. I mean, we're probably not playing red, but if we were to play red, we put in a snow-covered mountain at this point.
Yeah. Plus, it would give us the option to play him. Or him. Oh, I forgot to click.
All good. All good. Let's put it. So there is a white card in this pack. So let's at the very least pick that. These cards are what we call combat tricks. Typically, they're still just 1-for-1 trades, but they're still like you still want a certain amount of them in your deck. Both of these cards we are so fortunate that like having a card that we might actually play in our second to last pick is very strong. All right, so I think we had a pretty decent pack 1. I think things are looking pretty cool. We're sort of leaning black-white. So yeah, okay. So this one, there's a lot of good cards in this pack. So I would say Mistwalker is very good. The 1/4 flyer, that card's very good. The Bloodline Pretender is good because we might actually be able to make use of it like with flying creatures. That one's also good. And then the Rune of Sustenance is pretty good too.
Where's the Rune of Sustenance?
It's the white card. Yeah, that one. It's put on a creature, it gets lifelink, and then you draw a card. So that one's also fine. There is Feed the Serpent, but that's like, are we sure we're playing black? I don't know yet.
Right. I think I'm gonna go with the Shapeshifter because it has flying.
Yep, that card's very good.
And it's a changeling.
Which means it actually makes cards like our Glimpse the Cosmos better because it is a giant, and then that card you can cast out of your graveyard when you have a giant. Okay. So I mean, we're kind of maybe in black-white. I mean, we could maybe think about that Angel. But I think the Beskar Shield Knight is a good pick. And then if you want to go white, now might be the time to sort of make the decision on that. You could pick that Angel, or you could pick black. Way Down is good, or Glimpse if you just want to go blue.
I'm gonna go Way Down.
Okay. All right. So I think we might actually be. So now at that point with that decision, we're probably leaning towards a black-blue deck, right? So yeah. I think that other Angel, the Vengeful Reaper, is good. It's flying Death Touch Haste, which means it trades with anything. It's very good. We want Augury Ravens. We can use as many of them as we want. Like, I would play 3 or 4 of them and be happy about it. And then the next best card would probably be, or another card that would be good is the Death Knell Berserker. It's an aggro card. It's efficient. It's a 2/2 that might make another 2/2.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of 2-drops already, so probably just.
I like the Death Touch.
Let's do it
with haste.
Yep. All right, what do we got in this pack? Okay, we have another Mistwalker. The Giant's Amulet is also good because it gives a creature hexproof and can make a giant. It's kind of like our other card, the Draugr Helm. We're basically like, it's a cheap equipment, but we never really play it that. We play it as a creature equipment. So it's either Mistwalker, Giant's Amulet, or like maybe a distant third is sort of Raise the Draugr as a card that can draw us 2 creatures.
Right. So pretty much this just, after the Giant's gone, it just makes things hexproof.
Yeah, which is very good.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards the Giant Amulet just because I want the Giant.
Okay. All right. So we have a couple options here. I would say the Raven form, the Yeti, or the Dogged Pursuit is going to be probably our best bet here.
Step, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so if we're playing like a lot of those Mistwalkers or whatever, right? Like, and we get into a situation where we're just sort of blocking and trading with our opponent, those will sort of eventually win us the game. They're sort of a long-term side win condition.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with the Pursuit because I'm a big fan of long-term enchantments.
Death by 1,000 cuts. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
All right, cool. So I like the Snow-Covered Island in this pack, or the Raven form. We're playing blue-black at this point, so we're not going to play Gates or Iron Verdict. So the Raven form, the Karfell Harbinger, which is okay, or the Island.
I'm leaning towards the Raven form for removal.
Okay.
And plus we have 3 snows at this point, if we need them.
Well, we're not going to be playing the plains, right? So we only have 2.
Right.
So this the two good cards in this pack are the Grim Draugr, which is totally fine. We got a few snow stuff in there. It's a zombie, and we're going to be playing the Neferi, right? And then the Bind the Monster is a good 1-drop removal. Yeah, it hurts us a little bit, but it does basically kill a creature on the opponent's side. So it's basically we take 1 hit from it.
Gotcha. Well, guess we got the black guy.
All right, cool. So what do you think this pick is?
I mean, it's going to be between these two and this guy, right?
So see how that says crew 6? That means we need 6 worth of power in order to crew it, which is a ton. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, we can do longbow.
Yes. Perfect. Love it.
I didn't see longbow originally.
I like how you analyzed which was the better vehicle after I explained it. That's good. Good.
Yeah.
Cool. So I would say there's only 2 cards in this pack that we can play. Which would you think is better?
I mean, it's a shapeshifter. Controls 3 more creatures. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Good choice. All right. At this point we're sort of whatever. The cleric's okay now that we're in black, but yeah.
Each opponent discards a card. Pretty good. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. I mean, if someone's using like a.
Having one of those is fine. Totally fine.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. There's a few. This is a pretty good late pack. Like blue seems very open. Like we're definitely in the right color and being in blue.
They also have this artifact.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, man, they give you like no time towards the end.
Yeah, the last packs they've assumed you sort of like read the cards already. Yeah.
So I'm gonna just pick the cleric, I think.
Yep.
Just because it's discard for enemy.
It is both a creature and a discard. Yeah.
And it's the only one we could play. The only one we can play.
Oh yeah, I mean that we're not playing that. I know it says it's black, but like it's not really something.
We quote unquote can play it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, return to draft hand.
Oh, because I didn't pick a card that one.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so this we have 2 insane cards, right? So Bound in Gold and the 3/4 flying. The 3/4 flying we may classify as a bomb because it has flash.
It is white though.
Oh, that's right. We're not in white. Right.
White,
I forgot. We weren't playing white. 1 second.
So pretty much it's these 4.
Maybe the Shimmering Veil because it's a snowland.
Oh yeah.
This is kind of a bad pack for us since we're not in white anymore. Oh, that card's insane. We were rewarded though. That white black card there. Oh wait, no, we're not white. Shit. Man, we fucked up.
Yeah.
We fucked up with these 2 rares.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
We should have just bailed out and gone back into white.
Yeah, but how are you supposed to know that you're gonna get cards like this at the end? So pretty much we're black and blue at this point. So we obviously have a Mistwalker if we want.
Yeah, the Mistwalker or the Way Down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Way Down.
But Mistwalkers are very good.
Yeah, and we only have 1, so yeah. Because I didn't pick up the other one.
Yep, we are drafting. All right, so a couple of good cards here. The Bergstrider's good. The Augury Raven's good. The Jarl is good.
The Jarl.
Yeah. So it's kind of a removal, but you have to kind of finagle it to become removal.
Oh yeah, you have to deal damage and then play it out at the end. Well, I mean, I guess it has flash, so you can do it on their turn. I think I'm leaning towards the Raven.
Okay.
Just because of the flying. really want me to have ravens.
Well, I mean, it's okay. We're drafting with Two Hats Gaming X Pro. Yeah, so that land is good because it is both a land and something that we can do. The Skull Raid is good, and then a third Augury Raven is probably our limit on Augury Ravens.
Right.
Yeah, X Pro. I would totally, if you're really interested in this draft, I would definitely go back and watch the VOD. I might even put this on YouTube because this is pretty fun.
To its difference. Yeah, let's go with the Skull Raid. I can get a second Raven form, or I can get another Longbow.
Yeah, Longboat, I would say, or Raise the Draugr. Because Raise the Draugr actually at the end of the game, it's not as good early game, but at the end of the game, it draws us 2 cards because it picks 2 creatures up. And since we have so many Mistwalkers, it's really easy to do that second part. So.
Oh yeah, because they're everything.
They're everything. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's go with the Raise the Draugr then.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Snow-covered swamp.
Yeah, snow-covered swamp or dogged pursuit. Yep, for sure. Let's take a look at how many snow-covered lands we have here.
We have 2.
We have 3 because of the veil, right? So.
Wait, does it count as this? Oh, it does. No, nice. Okay.
So yeah, so maybe the snow-covered swamp just to kind of be better with Neferi, or if you want to just really drag these games out, the dogged pursuit is good too.
I do really like dragging games out. I had a match yesterday that lasted like 40 minutes.
Oh, and we get another Mistwalker. That's pretty good. Or the Death Knell Berserker.
How many Mistwalkers? I have 2 Mistwalkers.
Mm-hmm.
Or the which one?
That,
Berserker?
yeah. Just as another 2-drop.
Yeah, that's true. How many 2-drops do I have? Not many, right? Well, I guess
You have a couple.
Yeah. We're gonna go with that just because of the.
Alright, cool. And yeah, I mean basically just the 2 choices there.
Yeah. Do I have a Raven form yet? I got one,
Yeah,
right?
you got one.
Yeah, let's get another one.
Yeah, Raven form's like stock goes way up when you have a couple of Mistwalkers.
Yeah. So it's between these. I mean, we can only play these.
Yeah, we're not going to play a second Run Ashore. We may not even play the first. The Dustwalker is our closest to maybe being played, but that might get cut.
Yeah.
2 good black cards for sure.
Oh yeah, wait. Infernal Pet. What does that do? Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Infernal Pet. I think I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. 2 okay black cards.
Enters the battlefield, up to 2 target creatures get a +1/0 and gain indestructible until end of turn. That's kind of nice. Destroy if it's. Yeah, we're gonna go with that guy. So what, just the artifact creature, right? Well, I mean, he has flash.
Yeah, but he comes into play tapped. Like the
Okay.
fact that he comes into play tapped makes him very bad, right? Because what you want to do with flash creatures is surprise them, and you can't do that with that.
So we're gonna go with the longbow, right?
Sure. Yeah.
It's the only option.
Yeah. And one of those is totally fine in a deck. All right. Cool. So the vault in this game is basically as you pick cards that would go over your limit. So you can't have 5 of the same, like uncommon, for example. What it does is once you pick your 5th or 6th or however after that, uncommon or common, what it does is it gives you progress towards a vault, which is a stash of 2 rare wilds, 1 mythic wild, and some other wilds as well. So it's pretty good. So, sort of reassessing the draft, kind of as I think about the draft, I think that we did pretty good. I mean, obviously, there's no way you can know you're going to open up 2 insane white rares in pack 3. But like looking at it, like maybe we could have been in white, but I think that the white kind of dried up a little bit. I think ultimately, if we had been in white, our deck would have been more powerful. But like I said, there's no way we could know that we were going to do that. And maybe we could have splashed, but one of them was sort of a double white, so that was a little bit tough. But yeah, let's go ahead and make our deck. So typically what I do is I use kind of the other view. Like, so at the top right hand corner, there's like a box with another box. Yeah, click on that. So then what I do is this is sort of like our deck if we had everything in it. So we can easily just take the cards out. We put them up top, the ones that aren't in our colors, right? So the red cards, you can just take those right out. Yep. We can then take out the white cards. Yep, so we're not playing white. Alright, cool. So that leaves us with 52 cards. So let's play the cards that, we'll take out the cards that we know we're not playing. So I would say...
No planes either, right?
Oh, yeah, you can take that out. Yep. Alright, so we know we're not going to play the 2 Scorn Effigies. Those are just too inefficient. The 3 mana 2/3s are just not quick enough. We're not going to play the Annul, alright, because it only counters artifact or enchantment spells, and there aren't enough of those, really, to really warrant it. We're probably also not going to play the Dusk Wielder. I think 1-drops are pretty bad. Like, you'd have to have a very good 1-drop in order to play it in draft, because once you start thinking about, yeah, it's aggro, but at this point when we're building our deck, you have to think of your deck as a resource, right? So you only have 40 cards, right? And you want those cards to be as good as possible. So yeah, it's efficient and it costs only 1 mana, but you know, it's probably not as good as a 2 mana card in your opponent's deck, and that's where we kind of weigh in on that.
Right.
Alright, so we're probably not going to play Demonic Gifts either. So I'm just kind of looking 1-drops, 2-drops. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. I like all of those cards. We're probably also not going to play the Raven Wings because we have a ton of flyers. The artifact in the 2-drop slot, the Raven Wings.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
Okay, I think that's fine. I think 1 Dogged Pursuit probably isn't where we want to live. I would say for those, you probably want like 2 or to not play them, because 1 is just like way too slow.
So slow, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to take it out then?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. All right. Let's take out your 5-drops. Okay. We are definitely not playing the Undersea Invader. Yep. And then we're only gonna play 1 of the Dread Rider. We may play 0. So let's take 1 of those out. Okay. Cool. So now what I've done is I've sort of taken out the obvious things that should not be in the deck, which has got us down to 43 cards. So what I want you to do is let's talk over the last 3 cards. What would you cut from this deck? We got to cut three of them.
Probably these 2.
Okay, why?
I mean, it's a 6-drop, and it just removes 1 card, right?
Well, no, so it's choose 1 or both.
Oh, or both, yeah.
Yeah, so and it also doesn't, like, permanent remove them. It just either returns them to their hand or the top or bottom of the library. Right, so it's not permanent removal either.
Yeah, and it's super expensive for non-permanent removal.
Okay, cool. All right.
Rider, just because it's 6-drop and it's only a 3/7.
Right, but read its ability.
Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Oh, so you can lose. You can hit them a bunch of times so they can lose 3 health.
So this kind of ability is what we call reach. So reach is super important in drafts to have a little bit of it, because what's going to happen is often in drafts, both players sort of have these like giant boards, right? Like there's all kinds of creatures and there's all kinds of creature math. Like, can I attack? Can I block? And having 1 card that can just attack, like deal damage to them without having to attack. Oh, sorry, I turned my camera off there. But having a creature that can sort of go over them and just deal damage without having to attack through a bunch of blockers is like that's a good alternate win condition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It lives in the same world as the Yeti, right? Because the Yeti is also like that, because it can make itself unblockable, which is sort of another, like, it can get through those big sort of what we call board stalls where both players have a lot of creatures.
Right. So this one could feasibly take out a bigger guy because we have 3-4 snows.
Yeah, like the world that we want to live in for that guy is like, if we can kill anything that costs 3 or more mana with it on our opponent's side, then that means we've gained a mana. We've gained time on them, right? Because mana represents time in this game, so it's very good.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, probably just the Disciples, right? Because it's a 2-cost 1/1.
Okay.
We'd have to bank on them discarding something good from their hand.
So one thing that's cool about our deck right now is, like, those are 1/1s, but we have 2 Funeral Longboats, right? So they could in essence be 3/3s.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what I would get rid of, honestly. Besides maybe those or Infernal Pet. Because what are the chances of us casting 2 spells on each turn when we don't even have that many spells? Do we even have any?
Well, so creatures in this game are also spells. So everything that you cast is a spell, whether it be a creature or not. I mean, I think Infernal Pet is a good pick, right? Because we have a really good curve, and I think the chances of us casting 2 spells is very low until later in the game. So I do like Infernal Pet as a takeout. That's a good call.
And there's one more that we need to get rid of.
And you did mention Elderfang Discipline, and I do think like, I just kind of wanted to point out like their pros and their cons, but I do think, you know, like taking one out is also a good idea. You know what I mean? Like don't let me dismiss that as bad. Like, I think that was a fine idea.
Yeah, I think that's who I'm just gonna take one of them out.
Cool. All right, how are you feeling about this deck?
I mean, it's pretty good. It's very black heavy.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, I'm fine with that.
All right, let's run it.
Cool. And we just hit play.
Yeah. I think that I forgot to double check, but usually when you take out a land, the auto thing puts in a land. We'll just quickly make sure we have 17 lands after this game.
Yeah, they're only all 1-cost blacks, right? So this should be a pretty good starting hand, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like, we have a curve, right? Like if he goes aggro, like if he plays a lot of creatures really right away, we can play our priest, and if not, if the board is sort of even, we can play our raven, and then go over the top of him, right?
Right.
So that's kind of the plan to winning this game.
Oh, we just got a 2-drop.
Well, that's a 2-drop, but we only play it late in the game, right?
2-drop. Yeah. I forgot which card that was. Okay. Now, would you? What the heck?
Yeah, I mean, I think that card is a very good signal that he's gonna start attacking us. So I think getting the priest out and preventing damage, because we can always play the Augury Raven on turn 4 and still be in curve, and hopefully we'll draw a land for it.
Right. Yeah, because this is gonna stop hopefully some good damage.
Exactly. Yeah. And if he kills it, it's fine. Like, it trading for a card is sort of what we wanted to do anyway, right? So.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but like every once in a while you'll see one of your cards like highlight in white. Like I don't know if you saw that when you played the priest, it sort of highlighted in white. What that is your opponent when he hovers over things with his mouse. That's what happens. So what you could tell that when you played it, he read it and then he moved his mouse onto your lands to check if any of them were snow covered lands. That's a little bit of an advanced technique you can use. All right. So what do you think here?
So we could play Grimdraugr, but we don't have any snows yet. But I did just pull my Berserker. So my normal process would lean toward Berserker. But we could always just foretell Raven.
So think about lands as efficiency and time, right? So if we do Augury, Raven, or Berserker, we're going to be leaving 1 mana untapped, right? We're going to be not using some of our resources. Whereas next turn, we could play both of them. If we draw a land, we could do both of those things, right? So that's much more efficient. You got to play that. Yeah, you can't run out of that clock. That's going to be real bad. All right. Cool. Yep. Perfect. Okay, so that's unfortunate that we didn't draw a land. So now basically any of these are good.
Okay. So higher chance of is it a higher or a lower chance of them discarding something good if they have more cards in their deck?
So yeah, I would say cards in hand is sort of what you want to look at, right? Because so at this point they're probably out of lands. Or maybe they have 1 land in their hand that they want. I mean, when they only have 3 or 2 cards left in their hand, or even 1, like, yeah, you're probably going to get something good.
Okay, let's go with this then.
Okay. So like this, like it always is a 1-for-1 unless they have no cards in hand, right? It's like you play it, it costs 1 card, it costs them 1 card. And then if you could somehow manage to trade with it, like if they have an X, like a 1/1 or something like that, then it's like,
a land.
Yeah. So that's good. So it's more likely to keep them off of their like 5 drops or 6 drops, which most decks will have. So that's good. And we definitely don't mind playing a longer game. Oh, that's real bad.
Yeah, that's a good card.
But luckily we have removal for it.
Oh, sick.
Yep. I don't think we can really do anything else other than play the Raven form, which is unfortunate, because that card is just so good.
Yeah. If you don't take care of it quick, it turns into a big problem.
But that was a good turn for us. Yeah. And like I said, we don't mind playing a longer game because we have a lot of draw in our hand, right, with the Raise the Draugr, and we have a lot of flyers. So typically he's playing red, black, green, which is called Jund, and they don't typically have a lot of flyers. So we're going to be able to stall off the board and fly over his creatures.
Except for now, he has a flyer. You're welcome.
Yeah, but we're gonna play a 3/3 next turn. Well worth it, I would say.
Yeah.
Like
we're gonna take 1 damage right now, and that's
it.
Yeah.
We're much less scared of birds than we are of giant wolves.
Yeah. And they gained a 1/1 every time one of our permanents is put into a graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. No thank you on that wolf card, for sure.
Oh.
Alright, I like that.
So we want to play the Raven, right? Just to counter that flying guy?
That's sure, that's good. Yeah.
gonna have so many creatures out.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. You know, it's like those cards that these games end up being a lot of creature math. And we have, so the guy that I mentioned, LSV, has sort of coined this hilarious phrase, which is called "math is for blockers," where basically you just attack with everything, and then they have to do the math. You sort of force that on them, which is pretty funny.
I mean, it's true too. Aw.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But we got plenty of life. So you also want to use your life as a resource in this game, which basically means we have plenty of time, right? Like we have a ton of time to do this. That's good.
Okay, so we only have one creature, right?
Yeah. So we don't want to use the Razor Draugr yet. No, it's just not efficient.
Enters the battlefield, up to 2 target creatures get. Well, we're not going to use. That would cause us to attack, right?
But they gain indestructible. So you can attack with them, and either they take the damage or they kill one of their creatures. Like it's fine. It's very fine. Like playing that and you definitely want to put it on the Grim Draugr, right? And the Elder Fang, and you could just freely attack with those 2 creatures, right? Because they're not going to die on the way back.
That's true. Let's do that. Plus, it gives me a 4/4 on the.
Yeah. So like you have a better blocker, and it lets you attack. Yeah, that card's like having one of them is pretty good. I mean, it's unfortunate that he has kind of a good block. Like he can just easily block Elder Fang with the Scorn Effigy, but that sort of complicates things. Like he's probably just gonna take 4, but yeah. So. In the olden days, I mean, it's carried over now, but in the olden days, there's like this really funny saying that we have is called, "The only life that matters is the last one." And it sort of came from people playing these blue decks that would just like let you attack them until they had like 1 life and then start worrying about their life total.
Mm-hmm.
Just living on that razor's edge.
Yeah, it reminds me of my old like blue mill Jace deck that I had, because it was just like whatever those, like the mist walls or whatever they were called, and you would just have 4 of those, and by the time you got those out, it neglected all damage.
Yep.
So are we thinking Raven again?
Oh yeah.
And then do we want to play the Berserker too, or no?
Why not?
Well, just wondering, like, if having it in your hand might cause some like more confusion on their end or anything like that.
Yeah, I would say keeping like 1 card in your hand. Like if we draw another land, we could keep it in our hand. But like for a creature like that, we probably just want it like out and be able to block and stuff like that. Red, black, white doesn't really have any board wipes, which is like, you know, sort of what we call like killing all of our creatures in this format. So like we're safe-ish there.
Unless they have that one giant remover that's like 5 costs and it takes away everything.
Yeah. But that's a red-blue spell. So.
No, it's white. It's just straight white.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying in their colors, right? We don't worry about things that are outside of their colors.
Would we want to attack with a 4/4?
So if we attack with a 4/4, so best case scenario is they take 4, but what they can do is if they block with, say, the Scorn Effigy and the Elvish Bow, then that means it's a 1-for-1 trade. We want to trade up. So at this point, we're not doing that. Yeah, and now we've taken back the tempo because we have a big flyer and they only have a 1/1. So now we're going to be able to start attacking, and they have to block. We're going to put the onus back on them now. And if they kill our bird, then we get 2 birds next turn. So basically a Hydra bird, if you will.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and green actually right now has that Hydra too.
So here's where we're gonna get a little tricky, because we need to kill that creature, and it's a 3/3, and we have a way down. But we only have 1 creature in our graveyard, and we want to keep that. So here's what we're gonna do. I think we sacrifice
we have Raven form.
That's not a creature. That's a spell.
Doesn't it just say? Oh, exile creature. I thought it just said card.
So
that's my fault.
Actually, you know what? I think what we'll do is let's use the priest to kill his 1/1. So sacrifice the priest to kill his bird. Yep. Kill the bird. Then use the way down, sacrificing the priest to kill the 3/3. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good move. Look at that.
Yeah, and then I think we attack with the bird and the Grimdrauger and the 4/4. And then wait, stop. Now click on the Grimdrauger and pump it. Yeah. So that's going to make him he has to block with 2 creatures on that.
Oh yeah.
So the reason why we're attacking with more than one thing is because the 2/3 with the Elven Bow can block. So now what we're doing is we're making his blocks very complicated because he can't just block with 2 2/3s on your 4/4 because he's going to take damage otherwise. So what we're doing here is we're thinning the board, and then we're going to be able to use the Raise the Draugr sort of eventually. We're working up to that. So we're okay with trading off our creatures at this time.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets a decent trade on.
So with this,
so we want to kill the Grimdrauger first. Yep, perfect. Yep. And then
we want to kill.
I would say that.
Just because he has the ability for the 1/1.
Yeah, we haven't seen any boast cards though, so we might just want to kill the 2/3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that will make our 2/2s better, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Cool. All right, we're done. All right, let's take a look at our graveyard here. So we could get the 2 zombies next turn, or if he kills our bird, we can get the 2 birds. So we're getting 2 birds.
Yeah.
I saw the way down come. I didn't even need to know who it was targeting. I knew it was the bird.
Well, we can do it right now.
Oh yeah, because it's an instant. Yeah, so we'll just at the end of his turn, we'll just get 2 birds. Yeah, I mean that sucks.
Wait until the end.
Yeah, wait till the end. There's no reason to do it now.
Okay.
Like if we could cast it and then foretell it, it'd be fine. But we can't do that. Yep, we gotta just pass. See now we've sort of traded, and now he's a little bit ahead. But as soon as we play this Raise the Draugr, he's gonna go way behind. Yep.
Past the blockers. We don't want to block. Right?
No blocks. No blocks. We would much rather have a creature than 2 life. All right, yeah. Now we get the 2 birds. Yep. Bird.
Birds. Ooh, and another land.
I think I would. We can't play both of the birds with that land. So I would keep that in your hand as exactly kind of like what you were saying, to mix them up, right? So we can play 1 bird and then foretell the other bird. And I think we can foretell. All right. I was gonna say I think we can foretell on their turn, right? Am I? Oh no, during your turn. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it just says during your turn. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So now we're sort of in a okay.
Man.
Yeah, he's got a lot of removal, but now he's out of cards, right? So we're basically just playing against the top of his deck.
We want to take the damage, right?
Yeah. Because if we get a longboat, that's going to get really good.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh, that card's good.
Oh, he's got first strike. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one of my shapeshifters.
That's good.
We want to play him?
We can play both.
Oh, yeah, we can. I forgot that we foretold.
Of course, as soon as we're in a top deck war, he draws a rare. Great.
Yeah. Right off the bat. Yeah.
Man, it's too bad that he killed our other bird, because then, if we still had the other bird out, we could have done it. We could have pumped the guy.
Oh, he's got bows too.
Oh yeah, but the thing is he has to sacrifice that guy in order to make the dragon. So
Yeah, that's true. And he has just enough
Yeah.
to do it. And boast means you attack with. Oh, well, there you go.
All right.
Oh, he didn't attack.
Yeah. Because he
Do we
can't.
wanna-
It's because he can't attack and make the dragon. So we can play the snow-covered island. That's fine. But we're in a lot of trouble because we have no way of blocking better now. Hmm. I mean, we could attack with the bird, but I don't think it's gonna make anything
I mean, he
happen.
has reach, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has reach. Yep. The bow gives reach. Yeah, I think that's it. I think
So
that's
do
it.
we take the like just to like normally where would we go here? Would we take the damage or would we block with both of these guys?
Well, we would just block with
Or
the keep the shapeshifter, right? Because the shapeshifter doesn't die, and if we block with anything else, he just kills that, right? Like we have no way to kill his creature, so we just prevent the damage, which is just block it with a 2/4.
So is that what we're gonna do then?
Yeah.
Like the best move. Oh, got our longbow. I don't really understand how to use.
So you would just click on it, and then it would give you like a little like thing, yeah, and then you just click on whichever one you want. But we don't want to do that right now. So.
Yeah, but that's what we would do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean this sort of happens sometimes. Like I think we played it pretty good, but you know sometimes at the end of the game, like we drew 2 lands, they drew removal bomb, so yeah, we're not gonna attack.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just forgot to click it.
That's another thing about games is like sometimes when you're learning and even when you're good at the game, you're still gonna lose. You know that's part of it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would say it's just concede button now.
Yeah.